How's it going, everybody? Monday Morning Quarterback, episode 139. It is lunchtime on Monday, and today we're going to talk about quarter midgets. If you're not a quarter midget person, don't tune out. We'll answer any of your questions as well. I have my phone pulled up here where I can see, where I can see your questions. And we're looking for some feedback from you guys. So we've been doing Monday Morning Quarterback for maybe almost 3 years now, maybe a little longer than 3 years. And we're starting to kind of analyze how we give content and tech tips and feedback to our customers. And we're wondering if Monday Morning Quarterback is still the right avenue to do that, or should we do a tech series that's more in depth on one topic that we can kind of film and post. And so let us know what you'd like to see. Do you like the live, or would you just like tech videos and tech tips of any type? Because we can do any of it. We do it for you guys. We do it to provide as much information and feedback to our customers as we can. So let us know how you would like to get that content, and we're more than happy to help. All right, so let me get on here where I can see any questions. All right, so yeah, let us know. We're kind of analyzing that. Is Monday Morning Quarterback something that we should continue to do every week, or should we do a tech series or something like that? So today's topic, we got this question at the end last week, and I must have got it from a handful of customers, if not more, at the national race at Toledo last week. People that are doing dirt with their quarter midgets for the first time, right? And what does that look like? What should we be doing? What changes should we be making? A lot of them are doing it just because it's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, or they race in this region and it's a national race close to home. I lost you guys again. So that's what we're going to talk about, right? I'm going to get the questions pulled back up. It disappeared. As I'm preparing Hudson's cars to go to dirt, what are the things that I'm going to do, look at, change to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward? As we all know, they did 500 entries for this race and it sold out in 8 hours. So it's going to be busy, busy, busy. Lots of cars, very competitive, super hard to make A mains. So we want to show up with as good of a baseline as we possibly can. And if you guys have specifics, like I'm racing a Talon car and senior Honda, what should my setup be? Email me those or direct message me those very specific chassis class setups. I'm more than happy to help or give you as much information as I can, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about general things that you should be doing to do that. So the first thing, while this is trying to pull up your questions, is tires. So if you're a pavement guy, A35s is all you have and all you run. You probably have a variety of left side tires. More than likely, everybody's going to be on D10s to start. And depending on how the track changes throughout the course of the event, you might go to these A35s later in the event if the track starts to get black or grooved up. But you're definitely going to want D10s to get started. It's a softer compound. I would say the majority of people will still be on slicks. If it's a really loose dirt situation, you might see some folks groove their tires so it would look more like a sprint car tread pattern. Very time consuming to take a slick and tread it, but something that some folks might do based on what the track conditions are. So tires is the first thing. Make sure you got D10s mounted up. Typically you're going to run a 1/2 inch to 1 inch less stagger than you would on pavement. So keep that in mind. As you're going to the dirt, you're going to need less stagger, so you'll need some bigger left rear tires. The D10s I mounted for the right, they rolled out very similar to an A35, so 34.5 inches or so. So you'll need some bigger left rear tires if you're going to do that. The other thing is shocks and springs. So typically for the dirt, we're going to be a much softer spring rate on the right side, a stiffer spring rate on the left, and then shock valvings are going to change for the dirt as well. So we're going to run more rebound in the right side shocks, and less in the left, as we're trying to get as much traction on these right side tires as we can with the limited grip that will be available on the dirt. Again, some of these tracks, Hagerstown and some of these like permanent dirt tracks that they get a lot of cars, they get grooved up. The track gets really black and actually gets some grip in it. That's when they would go to the A35s, and then you would get back to a more traditional valving. You'd probably still be softer on spring, but not as soft as you would start. The Brickyard is going to be a bit of a guessing game for everybody, as it's a new track and not been there. I think it'll play out similar to Eldora from a surface standpoint, where it's very loose, crumbly dirt. Weather's going to play an issue. It's going to be hot this week, but it looks like it also might be wet, so we'll just have to, everybody will be in the same boat as far as that goes. The next thing I would really look at is axle position. So front and rear axles, you're going to be shifting those to the left to put more weight on the right side tires as the car rolls through the corner. So if it's a traditional keyed axle, a lot of the chassis manufacturers will have a snap ring groove more inboard, where you would move your bird cage and everything in. If it's a splined axle like this, you would do that by adjusting the length of your panhard rod and slide the axle to the left, front and rear. As you're doing that, keep in mind that you're going to have to realign your chain or your belt. So as you stuff this axle to the left, you'll have to do some realignment to make sure your chain drive or your belt drive, whatever you use, stays on the car. So that'll be another big adjustment you'll make. A very, very important thing, which everybody should know, but probably goes without saying, is air filters. So a lot of guys, most guys on pavement don't run an air filter. On the dirt, you're going to have to run an air filter, and not only an air filter, but I would recommend a sock or an outerwear to go over that, just to give your engine the best chance possible to not ingest dirt. And that's something throughout the weekend. If the track's really dusty, take that off, tape this up, get that air filter blowed out, cleaned out, the outerwear or the sock cleaned out, re-oiled, and back on there. The oil helps keep the small dust particles from getting sucked into your motor. So that'll be a big one. Another thing would be weight bias. So depending on class and chassis and driver weight, most of us have our ballast a little more towards the nose and definitely to the left side for pavement, as we're trying to keep the cars as free running as possible in a high grip scenario, where on the dirt that ballast will be more in the center or on the right, and more rearward. So you'll need more rear weight and more right side weight than you would on the pavement. So as you're doing your setup, if you have some ballast in the car to move around, definitely keep that in mind. And the last thing is, when this whole event's done, is your maintenance. This sucker's going to be like a full body off restoration after a dirt race like this. So everything will come apart, get all the dirt off, wash the body panels, and the big thing is all of your bearings. So all those need to come apart and get cleaned thoroughly. If you don't run seals on your bearings for the asphalt, which some don't, you definitely will want to make sure you have seals on it for the dirt. But all of that stuff's going to need cleaned and totally gone through. You know, if you see any sign of dirt in your air filter cup, that engine's probably going to need to get rebuilt. So to stay on top of that, take that air filter off every time you're off the track. When you get back to your pit area, take it off, make sure we're not ingesting dirt, make sure your air filter is really clean. But maintenance on all of your spherical bearings, rod ends, birdcage bearings, front hub bearings, that's going to all be really, really critical to getting your car back where it needs to be when you do go back asphalt racing. So anybody else have any questions while we're on the topic of a pavement quarter midget to dirt? Same chassis, same engine, just different setup and a few different things we will do to try to put our best foot forward and do the pavement guys proud. There's a lot of guys that just run quarter midgets on dirt, and they're very, very good at it. So there will be some extreme competition from those guys. Up here. See if I can get your questions pulled up here. Again, we're looking for feedback on the live videos versus just a tech series. We want to give you guys good content that you can watch at any time. That's why we always post these for future. When I started, I really liked the live because I could answer your questions live when my phone wants to work. There's a lot of people doing live videos now, so maybe we'll look at doing something slightly different in the future. Doesn't look like there's any questions. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please share this video for your friends. If you're going to the Brickyard this weekend, we really look forward to seeing you there. We'll have our shock trailer there to service shocks, revalve shocks, whatever you need. We'll have a small amount of inventory with us. If you need anything, let us know. We'll make sure we get it in the trailer, and we can certainly bring anything to the track. We're only about 15 minutes from the Speedway out here in Brownsburg. So hope you all have a fantastic week, and we look forward to seeing you at a racetrack soon. Take care.